George Osborne may have cut some departments to the bone in the latest spending review, but he's promised that there will be new roads and rail links. The Chancellor says he's earmarked billions of pounds for investment in infrastructure projects.
Yeah, some critics, though, have questioned whether he can deliver on his promises. Steph's at a cement plant in the Midlands to find out what the plans mean for businesses and the economy. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning to you both. Morning, everyone. Yes, the sun is shining here in Rugby on the business. I'm at Cemex. It's one of the world's biggest suppliers of building materials. So, as Louise was saying, cement and concrete, just to name a few. Now, this business has been going for about 100 years and has been involved in all kinds of infrastructure projects. So, things such as the Channel Tunnel, the Millennium Stadium, Terminal 5 at Heathrow. And it's a type of business that will do well from this investment in infrastructure. So this 100 billion that's been earmarked from 2015 up to 2020. But there's some criticism about how fast this money can get into the system and how much it'll really do for growth. So we've got a couple of experts to talk to you about this. First of all, we've got Martin, who is from Cemex. Good morning to you, Martin. What do you think of this announcement then, the extra 100 billion from 2015?
Well, we've always got to welcome that longer-term commitment from government to invest in public infrastructure. The problem with it is, though, of course, that it is several years down the line. And what we really need to see is conversion of these sorts of announcements into work on the ground now.
Yeah. And how is the market feeling at the moment from your perspective? Because there has been, in a sense, a big slowdown in terms of construction and building.
Well, a cement plant like this Cemex one here at Rugby is a huge capital investment for which we need to get a return. The construction market has fallen significantly over recent years due to the economic crisis. So anything that's going to help pull that back up again is obviously good news for us. But what we need to see is business growing. At the moment, it's been falling over the last few years. We think that that's potentially coming to an end, and especially in housing, we're starting to see some signs of growth in the housing market. But overall, the market is pretty much flat.
Okay, Martin, well, thanks for your time this morning. I've got another expert here with us as well. This is Kate, who is from Pinsent Masons, who's an infrastructure expert. Morning to you, Kate.
Morning.
What do you make of this announcement? Do you think it's going to make much difference to the economy?
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what Daniel Alexander actually announces today. I think the industry is really hoping it's going to be something new, not really a rehash of things that we've already heard. For example, I think everybody knows about High Speed 2. The A14 has been on the books, off the books. So we're hoping that that's going to be positively announced today. Ideally, we would like to see some new projects also, but I think that the detail will be announced at 10:30.
It's interesting as well when you look at the figures. There are some 550 projects earmarked by the Chancellor, but only 1 in 5 of them has actually been started yet. Why is that? There's a certain time lag, isn't there, with all of this?
Absolutely, and I think that the government says it's deeply committed to infrastructure, and actually we've heard some fantastic announcements from government over the years, the National Infrastructure Plan itself, the announcements in the budget, and indeed the spending review yesterday. But actually, time and again, we do see that there's little substance sometimes behind some of the announcements, and that's why the announcement today is so important.
Yes, crucial. But they're also looking at the geographical mix as well. 80% of the projects in the south. I mean, could this further create that gap between the north and the south?
Yes, and I think that is something that there is some concern about. If you look at the plan for the second Crossrail scheme, a huge initiative that would really create jobs in the south of England. And actually with infrastructure, with every £1 spent on construction, 90p staying within the local economy, clearly that would have a massively beneficial impact in some areas of really great need.
Yes, it makes a big difference. Thanks very much for your time this morning, Kate. I'll be here throughout the morning. We've got various experts coming down to chat to us about this, but that's it from me for now.
Steph, thanks very much. See you later on.
Now, 1 in 5 people